Hi, my name is Rose Gacha and let's talk about Classdojo, one of the best recent discoveries for classroom management. It's one of the best tools that have been recently discovered. So its main purpose or its main area is classroom management. So what is Classdojo? Classdojo is a classroom management tool that is designed to help a teacher to build a positive classroom culture. And why should we use it? Again, because it helps you to build a positive classroom community. It gives students a voice in your classroom management plan, and you also share those good moments with the parents, and the community gives you those avenues to share that information, with the community that matters to your classroom. The ISA standards that relate with Classdojo are ISTA for teachers, number 3, because it helps teachers to establish a classroom culture and communicate the outcomes of this culture with both parents and the school community. Also, ISTA standard 5 for teachers, 5D for teachers, because Classdojo is really contemporary and it highly contributes to the teacher's effectiveness. And if the teacher is effective, then that is very foundational to teaching and learning. How does Classdojo work? All you need to do is go to classdojo.com and then sign up for a free teacher account. It is free. Then you add a class. In that class, you're going to add skills and their points. And when I say skills, I mean positive skills and also negative skills that you don't want your student to display. And you're going to be rewarding points for each of the skills that are displayed. But again, we want to focus on the positive. Then after you develop the class and the skills, you invite students and their parents to sign up. And then download a phone app that you're going to be using in the classroom, because you don't want to be married to your computer. You can actually operate Classdojo from the back of your classroom or when you're interacting with your student. That's why it's good to also have the phone or any gadget like iPad app. Now let's see how you can build your own Classdojo. So what you do, you go to classdojo.com. So mine is pinned here. For me, I already have an account. If you don't have an account, you need to sign up for one. So I'll just log into mine. So once you log in, once you sign up, you're going to have such a platform. Miss Getcha right there. So I have various classes already. Let me go down to the classes. I have various classes. I have archived classes from previous years. But I could use one of my regular classes that I already have to show you how this works. So I will go to period. Let me use period 4. Has 31 students. So what I do is when you build a class, you have what we call the skills. So let me go to the skills to edit the class. Let me edit the class so that you can see how it works. So you have all these sections here. So on the skills, you choose the positive skills that you want your students to display. So like here I have articulate communicator, you engaged, you're working, character trait of the month. There's also helping others. Each of them is 2 points. And character trait of the month has the the strongest points. Right now is responsibility. You also create the skills that need work. I always give them very little points. Sometimes I even give them a 0 point. So just to emphasize on the positive side. So once you have all that, you share with the parents and the students. And then, for example, let's say a student like Christy. If Christy is doing a good job, you can select her using a cell phone. I can just go to the cell phone and select from the back of my class, and I'll just come and click here and say that she's on task. And it makes a sound that rings from the back of the classroom, and it just tells the students, hey, somebody got a point. I better work harder so that I can also get points. Again, if someone is not working so hard, like Axel seems to have just negative points, he may have lost all his positives. So you click on Axel, or I won't give him again. You go to Adam. If he needs work, you give him 1 point, and it makes a completely different sound, and students will be like, oh, somebody got a negative point. So it communicates even without myself talking. It just communicates. But again, I always focus on the positive because I have found it to work more than actually rewarding students with negative points. You can create stories. I already think I've created some stories. Let's see, like Daniel Graham here. When they're working, I can take pictures of them, take pictures of the students, and post them on their stories, and their parents can see these stories. Going back to the classroom, you can view reports. At the end, you see that's my donut. It shows that most of the rewards come because students are on task or they're actively engaged. I just have a bunch of them who are showing the character trait of the month. Well, I have several disruptive and loud students and some that are out of uniform. But again, as you can see, the negatives are very few compared to the amount of positive behavior that I am modeling and that I am emphasizing on. You can even do attendance in the class. It's very recommended. Do attendance so that as you go about your class, like selecting students, then it's not going to select students who are absent. I also have groups. You can create groups. So I've created groups. So if I want to reward the whole group, I can award them points. And they can see that they all receive the points. You can add more groups if you want and choose from your own students. Another very important thing is the random picker. Instead of using equity sticks, I simply come here, and if I'm in a classroom, I will simply randomize, and it picks a student. And then I'll ask a question, or if I was asking a question, and then if the student answer the question, you give them a point. If they're not prepared, you can give them some more time. Or if it's very severe, then you say they're not prepared, if it's really something that you expected them to have done. You can even do multiple rewards. You can select the whole class and then give rewards for the whole class. What I didn't show you is how to build your own class. Maybe I could add a class. Add a class. Let me go back up. He's adding a student. I'll go back up to classes and perhaps add a class. Here. Add a class. So you add a class, you give it a name. Let me call it Demo 2. Demo 2. The year is 10th grade. 10th grade class. Add the class, and then you need to add the students' names. Instead of adding students one by one, I always go to import a list. So I'll go copy paste from some of my Google Sheets, from my data sheets, and then I simply paste here, and it's going to import the whole list. And all I have to do from there is simply add the skills and then share with the parents so that that it follows that order. I do not want to build a whole class, but it's very easy and self-explanatory. Alright, so if you have any questions, I wish that you can go try this try to use Classdojo because it has changed my classroom management completely. I do not work so hard anymore. Students are the ones who work. Now, one more thing that I would like to show is that if you want to speak to parents about their particular student, you still go to reports again, and the whole class will have a donut, but you can go to a particular student herself. Click on a student, and it shows the actual behavior of the student, so the parent can actually see your student is mostly on task and is normally active and engaged, but on this day, you know, she was disruptive. Only one thing that needed work, you know, on this particular day. You can go to a particular week, you can go to a particular day, you can custom the range and just explain this, between this and that time, your student was going through this, and maybe a parent will come up with an explanation of why their student was, you know, doing well or not doing so well. So I find Classdojo very effective in communicating to students my expectations and celebrating with my students about their behavior achievements, and even communicating that to the parents. So go try it. If you have any questions, you can email me or email Classdojo help, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening to my video.